I think we're live. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my mark on my head, whatever I did there.
I don't know. Here, let me put a circle on it. We'll point it out to mark on your head. Geez, I think my computer screen's a little off here. Might be your head. I don't know. Okay. There. I think we're all set up. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear us okay. And check. A little off. Oh, yeah. Yep, we're good. Okay, we've got sound. We've got picture. We're cooking with gas. That doesn't mean that Walter just farted. No. Although it would not be unusual. So welcome, everybody. And I see lots of people pouring in right now, which is always good. So let's get to start with the number one entry here. Every week he's been first up there for the last 3-4 weeks in a row. It is Quilt Meets World Russ. And he says, can't wait to see the two of you next weekend at the retreat. Yes, we're looking forward to it as well.
Hopefully it'll be warmer than here.
Yep. Kim says it's snowy in Halifax. Here it's just cold. What's the temperature?
Right now it's minus 11, which is 12 Fahrenheit, I think. Right. And we're going down to minus 19
tonight,
which is minus 2 Fahrenheit.
But tomorrow we're supposed to go to a high of 1.
Yeah, it's supposed to go to high of
shorts
1.
weather.
So that's like 30. That's a little above 32 Fahrenheit.
Well, anyway, so you can have the snow in Halifax, Kim. We don't want it here, and we definitely don't want it on Christmas Day when we're driving down the States.
Tomorrow.
Don't say it. Julie's here. Hi, Julie. And Kim says, Steven YouTuber Marley Kurt has his 3D printed chair on auction. Highest bid so far is $79.50. Yeah, I think I saw that. I didn't know he had it up for auction, but I did glance through. I never watched the videos, but I saw in the thumbnails a guy who made a chair from his 3D printer. And that, so yeah, he can make almost anything. Yeah, he did it in parts, Kim. He would have had to have done that. And I wonder what kind of glue he uses. Because gluing the pieces together is not as easy as you would think. Not all glues.
Well, it depends on what he made it out of, too.
Well, that's true. I don't know if he made it out of PLA or if he made it out of something. I'll have to go and look at his video and see what it is that how he made it. I was going to do that, but I never got around to it. Gloria's here. Hi, Gloria. That's not how you spell Steven. Look at everybody else in the thing. Yeah. If I spelled your names wrong, would you tell me? You would. Steven with a V. Remember, V for victory. I'm not a step. N. I say that a lot. So don't worry about it, Gloria.
Yeah, probably okay. Autocorrect got you.
Yeah, maybe autocorrect got you, yeah. I was surprised though, when we go to Chick-fil-A, they never asked me how to spell my name, and they always spell it with a V. How did they come, like, because a lot of times...
probably the girl that's doing that probably has somebody that she knows that spells it with a V.
Maybe, because very often when I go in someplace and I say what my name is, they will spell it with a PH. But, no, it's not a PH, it is a V. It's the right way to spell it. Let's see. Pace is here, and Suzanne is here, and in my quietude, hello from Georgia, Merry Christmas. In my quietude, what's your temperature in Georgia right now? Oh, Walter's going to look it up.
I have it on there.
Okay, I'm just trying to engage them in conversation.
Oh, okay.
Killjoy.
Yeah.
Jeez. Charlotte's here.
I have it. It's 8 degrees Celsius.
Okay, fine. Now that you've proven to the world that you can use a cell phone to find out how...
It's balmy compared to air.
You just can't leave it alone, can you? No, you can't. Okay, what did I say? Charlotte is here, and Karen B is here, and Colleen is here. Mona is here. Lydia is here. So the gang going down to Georgia are all here because Mona's going, Lydia's going, Russ is going, Faith is here.
Russ is pretty much there.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's only about an hour and a half away from where we're going. Patsy, did I say hello to Patsy? I don't think I did. There's Patsy and Tabella. Candace is going. Em is here. Hi, Em. Judy says, hi, Steve Walter. Have a safe trip to Georgia and a Merry Christmas. Well, thank you and thank you. Patsy says it's 52 in Mississippi right now.
Which is
52 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
It's boiling in the Celsius. No. Sandy's here. Hi, Sandy. Russ says, right now the temps seem okay for the retreat, but there's a chance of liquid precipitation in a couple of days. Well, liquid precipitation, not a problem. Unless I get wet, then I melt. But that's a story for another day. It's the snow, and it's driving in the snow. I mean, we are Canadians. We're used to driving in the snow, and we do have snow tires.
52 is 11 degrees.
What, 11 degrees Celsius? Oh, okay.
That's balmy.
That's balmy, yeah. Kim says no glue. Okay, well, he must have made it then so he could join the parts together. I've seen pieces like that they, it's a lot of engineering in something like that for sure, which is beyond me. Doka is here. Well, Mona says, Julie, thank you for your kindness. Okay, Jeannie is here. Hi, Jeannie. Nina is here. Dana's here. I know what it's like to have my name mispronounced. Do you, Dana? Or Deanie? We know it is Dana. Like Dan with a on the end of it. Dana. Dana. Lydia says, so much packing. But Lydia, aren't you coming down in a Volkswagen? You may not be. You may have to pull a little trailer.
Just throw your sewing machine in the bag and.
No, we'll wait till you see our car. It's packed. It's going to be packed to the
the
roof.
Our car would supposedly have a decent amount of room when the seats are down, but we managed to fill it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take that much. There's not as much room in that car as you might think, looking at it from the outside.
Lydia's a little beetle.
Oh, okay. Judy's here. Hi, Judy. Kay's here. And Trust says, everyone travel safe and have a great time in Georgia. No, we're not going to travel safe. We're revising it. We're going to run amok. Run amok through the States. Yeah.
That's like a game of Tetris, Lydia says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a vintage Volkswagen a long time ago.
Mona's bragging. It's 77 in Tucson. Jean E is here. Hi, Jean. Carrie's here. And Lydia says, my little beagle. It should be interesting. It's like, yep, a game of Chatty. Judy says, oh, the other Judy. How many Judys we got on here tonight? We got 2 Judys anyways. I'll open you with a pair of Judys and raise you a Lydia. Okay, so safe travel. Thank you, Judy. Yep, we're getting excited about it. But, right now we're in that in-between time. Like, okay, I don't want to start any new projects, although I did. But, you don't want to, the stuff that you're taking on the retreat, I don't want to start working on that stuff now because I've got all neat little kits and everything. And, if I start working on any of that now, then I'll get myself lost and messed up and everything like that. So kind of in between things. Nyrie's here. Hi, Nyrie. And Marilyn is here. Hello, Marilyn. So, yeah, but I have been working on a few things, so I thought I'd show them to you, and something that Walter just completed as well. Okay, so you saw this earlier in the week. It's all quilted. It's all finished. It's just waiting for me to take down the Christmas. Oops, you can't see that because I'm not there. You go. Now you can see it. Once I get all the Christmas decorations down, which will happen when we come back home, then this is going in place of the Christmas one I have on our coffee table in the family room. And someone said they thought it would look really cool. They said when they first saw this, it didn't shout out at them American, because the original pattern for this, if you remember on So Chatty, I said was in red, white, and blue, and it's called Patriotic Tabletopper, so it definitely has a 4th of July feel to it in the way they designed it. But I decided to make it less American. I was going to make it more Canadian with red, but we want 2 colors, red and white. We need a 3rd color, but red and white. So
blue.
yeah, blue. We used to be red, white, and blue when we had the British flag. Yeah, so I mean that seems to be a common theme because the French flag is red, white, and blue.
The
And
Dutch flag's red, white, and blue.
what is it with red, white, and blue?
I don't know.
I guess because, well,
The French flag, I think the Dutch flag has the stripe, the red stripe on top. And the French flag's red stripes on the bottom. I think.
is it? Yeah. So I don't know. But anyways, but this one person said, oh, this would look great in red and white, but instead of stars, you could use maple leaves. Well, she's really right about that, except no, I can't. Because this is the pattern. This is a file that I bought for my embroidery machine. And
you'd have to change the file for your embroidery machine to put
yeah, and that's a bit of work.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of work.
It's not just a simple edit job. So anyways, but I agree. It would look nice with maple leaves on it. I think it would, but I can't do it. So, well, I could do it. I could do it, but it would take me forever to do it.
A lot of time.
And you want to know something? Not worth it. I'll just do something with maple leaves on it.
Yeah.
So that. Okay, I was making these little things. These are little pouches. You do them in the hoop on your embroidery machine, including the zipper. Yeah, it sews it all in. I made the first one I made, which isn't on here. I made using mesh instead of vinyl. I gave that one to Walter. It was the prototype. But then I made the one that you see all my microphones and everything in, because that's what I made it for. And I used the vinyl. But here's the vinyl I used. If you saw Idiot Quilter this week, past one, I think, I talked about Invisigrip, the stuff you put on the back of rulers to keep them sliding, and how much I didn't really like that product. But I bought some to try during the Reindeer Games sale at Quilter's Cupboard. But it's thick enough for this, so it won't go to waste because I can use it in these kind of things. And once you've made one, the instructions were a little confusing, but luckily they had a video, and this came from not Creative Key, the other one in Australia, Sweet Pea Designs. But they had a video, and that was good because I was a little confused with their instructions on the zipper. But once I saw the video, I was fine. And yeah, and they're pretty quick. Once you've done one, you can knock one of these off in under half an hour. So, you know, they're very practical. And they come in about 3 different sizes. This is the largest size, and it works out to being about 6.5 inches square. Holds a lot, though, as you can see. So, yeah, that was fun. And then I decided to start working on an in the hoop tote bag. And these pieces you see here next to the table centerpiece, all of these are for the tote bag. I thought I was ahead of the game because I thought this morning when I got up I could start putting the bag together. Then I read the instructions, realized I have to make 2 of each of these squares because it takes 8 of these put together for one side of the bag and another 8 of them for the other side of the bag. So I've got I have the sewing machine and this spool of thread one left to do to make 2, and then I can probably maybe tomorrow I'll start sewing it together. I don't know. We'll see, because Tuesday's going to be busy organizing crap, getting everything packed up and ready to go. And here's Walter's quilt. We showed it on So Chatty. No, he didn't cut off all the points on the edges or the binding. I did that when I took the picture. I didn't realize that I had done that when I was cropping it. But he's taking it down to Georgia to show it off because that's where you started it a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Walter did it all except for the binding and the squaring up. I did the binding for him. And but he did the quilting. I showed him how to use Lucy, and he lucified it. And yeah, I think it's kind of nice. So is African fabrics and everything. So I don't think you did too bad a job.
Yeah.
Considering that you did have a little problem with the measurements at one point.
Yeah, actually, the measurements were off on the pattern.
Yeah,
so
we determined.
Stephanie was doing it too, and she was having the same problem. So
yeah, so it wasn't Walter.
Which isn't very nice to have.
Speaking of Walter, there he is. Yeah, and everybody knows Jeff Dunham, this character. He actually calls this character Walter, and oh my God, sort of looks like Walter. And it's got the same personality too, grumpy old man. Yeah. So so yeah, but besides those things, what?
I can't see anybody.
Oh well, too bad. I thought you liked looking at your dummy. Just saying, dummy. Whatever. Okay, so a few other people I think came in. Joan's here. Hi, Joan. You should have good weather as of today. Enjoy the retreat, which I'm sure you two will. Yeah, I hope we have good weather, but it's not so bad. I'm not really that concerned about the weather in Georgia because we're going to be inside most of the time.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't snow or...
It's just the driving down there. If the weather's really bad going down, you know what roads are like. Well, up in the north part. Once we get, more towards Lexington and beyond.
I'm more concerned if we get freezing rain and anything.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I mean, I do have my snow tires on my car, so...
So we should be okay. Ingrid's here. Hi, Ingrid. Another one going to the retreat. Heather's here. Hi, Heather. Kim says just got that tote bag pattern. Yep, it's fun. It's pretty easy to do. A lot of little squares. Karen's here. And everybody's liking your quilt, Walter. Yes. And Walt, what are you working on when we go down to Georgia?
I'm working on one of Stephanie's patterns, the
Rock Candy.
And I also cut out a shirt in case I get
bored.
In case I don't, in case I need to do something else. So
diversify your portfolio. Yeah. So we're all ready for all of that, as we said. Okay, so of course you know that there will not be a Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen until the next one will be about January the 8th, because we'll be gone. We don't start our trip back home until New Year's Day, January the 1st, and it takes us a couple of days to get back home. So, so it won't be until January the 8th probably when we have, and Stephanie has an event on as well that she's going to right after the retreat. So, so you got a break for a little while. Miss us. So we did the social review this week, Christmas edition. We haven't, four of us have not gotten together to do that in quite some time. And it was kind of fun. And I hope a lot of you joined us as well. And we were talking about other YouTube channels that we check out on a regular basis that some of them have to do with cooking. It was funny. I think all of us had a cooking one of some sort.
Yeah, well, what else is new? People like food.
Yeah, well, true. Some more than others. That, and then Russ had one about mathematics. You should check that one out. That one's really quite interesting. I've watched it a few times. And then, of course, we did have a few that were about sewing and quilting, but not many.
I could have put lots of other ones down. I could have done a few comical ones that I watched that people wouldn't.
Yeah, there's quite a few different ones that I watch. I mean, I keep subscribing to these stations. I think I have a list I subscribe to of over 300. I don't watch 300 videos in a week. And some of them are like...
Yeah, I went through some of my subscriptions and I was going, oh, I forgot all about that channel.
Yeah, I know. I need to go through and review a few of them because
there are a few sewing ones I sometimes go to, but I usually go to them on an as needed basis. Like if I forget to do a certain kind of seam or something like that, then I will go to one and review how to do that seam. So.
Well, I'm always looking for new sites too, with a couple of things in mind. One, to see what their perspective is on various things, and two, possibly potential interview ones. I'm considering one right now for in the new year. I haven't reached out to this person. It's kind of a mixed bag. It is a male quilter. He just did an unboxing of the Bernina box, and he said you could still get it. You could order it. And he says, and it's $300 cheaper this year than the year before. And I thought, whoa. So how much is it? I couldn't find a listing to see how much it was. And quite honestly, if it's more than what the Missouri Star quilt box is, I don't think it's worth it. Because he was showing what was in it, and no, I don't think so. It was a lovely box, like physically looking box, but the stuff that was in it, I thought
some of those advents, like the one we saw, one where they had a really expensive one from
from
Harrods in London,
£750.
Yeah.
No, was it?
No, that one was 250 pounds. The one they opened.
It was the Christmas crackers box. They bought 6 Christmas crackers, £720.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
And it's disappointing what you get in them.
Yeah. So I don't know, but the Bernina box. Well, he kept Quilting Camper. That's his name. He goes by Quilting Camper, and he is definitely drank the Bernina Kool-Aid, because I thought the man was going to wet himself with the excitement of the box. He didn't buy the box. He had the box loaned to him by his local quilt store. That's a Bernina dealer, so he could show it. He said he's not really an official ambassador for Bernina because they turned him down. So I don't know. Of course, he only has about 159 subscribers. And then I thought, well, I think, and I reach out to him and maybe interview him. He's a bit of a character, which is always good for an interview. I like characters. But then he said he'd had his YouTube channel for 7 years.
He must not put up stuff very often.
I don't think so. I don't know. Wait, like 7 years and only 159 subscribers? I'd have to go in and really... And that's what makes...
Boring.
He is something. I said he's a bit of a character. I still haven't decided whether that's a positive or a negative in this case. It's different, but I may reach out to him in the new year and see what the heck. Give the guy a helping hand with his channel. I mean, after all, we boys must stick together, in this quilting world. There's less of us than there are of the females, so we're coming in and we're going to conquer. Yes, we are. But yeah, so everybody loves your quilt. They're saying you did a good job. Good for you. So we have done days 1 to 20 of the Missouri Star quilt box, and the last 5 days will go up on Wednesday, on Christmas Day. There are links if you've missed any of those and you're interested in watching them. I mean, everybody's been opening the Missouri Star quilt box, but nobody does it the way Stephanie and I do it. So there is that. But I have all the links for them all in the show notes. 1 to 20 will work, but days 21 to 25 will not go active until Christmas Day. So you'll have to still wait for that if you're interested. If you get bored on
Marilyn
Christmas.
Looked up the Bernina box at $6.99. It says it's on sale for $9.99.
Yeah, he said it was $300 less. Holy crap. Okay. Let's talk about it. It's a beautiful looking box, the way it's been designed and the whole bit. But there's one item in that box. It comes in another, very fancy tin box. And he opened it up. It is a gold-plated foot for the Bernina. It is the original foot, he said. It's the one that he called it the first foot. It's the first foot that Bernina in 125 years made for their machine. So, it's just your standard foot. But it's gold plated, and it comes with a small spool of Mettler gold metallic thread. And they put it out for their 125th anniversary. And he said he wouldn't recommend that you use it very much. He said because the gold on it probably would wear off easily. I think it's supposed to be 24 gold.
24 karat gold?
24 karat. Yeah, but it's not solid. It's plated or whatever, right, with it. But I'm thinking, yeah, why would I want that? He said, well, you could maybe put it on a chain and wear it around your neck. Sure, why not? Make one earring out of it. I don't know. Get 2. Then you'd have a matching set. I don't know. But that box was kind of full of these things. Oh, there was a lovely silky, like sheer, very sheer. He kept saying sheer over and over. Scarf in Bernina colors, which are red and white. Yeah, he even suggested you could drape it over a table. Nothing says whorehouse like a draped sheer silk scarf over a table, right? Why not just put it over the light shade, hi, open for business. I don't know. And then, you got a thing, I guess Bernina has a course, a university kind of thing, and there was a free course that you could take, and it was on how to use your Bernina. Basically your beginner's guide to it. What else did he show in the box? There might have been a couple of fat quarters or half yards of a couple of the fabric, which most of the stuff was heavily branded with Bernina's name all over it.
I would imagine it would be if it's a Bernina box.
Well, yeah, but for $700 on sale.
No. I wouldn't even buy a Janome box.
I wouldn't buy a Janome box. No. So I don't know. I guess there are some people that have lots of money and don't know what to do with it. That's all I can say. Mary says she's here. Did you have a good anniversary? Yes, we did. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Elaine's here. Hi, Elaine. Lydia says, red light district. Yeah. And Kathy's here. Got here late. Wrapping. Can you breathe? Did you leave air holes? She's wrapping up. Joe So's is here. Finally caught alive. You guys cracked me up. Well, plaster of Paris fills in any hole. Yeah. Landis here. Lydia says, sure is a lot of money for that. Yeah, really. There were some other things in it too, but I can't remember. I was half watching him, half doing other things. So I don't know. Speaking of the Missouri Star Christmas box and all those, I just want to clarify what we said last week about Missouri Star. It seemed to get a lot of you hot and bothered about it was the kids who started the business and all of that. I'm not going to get back into that conversation again. But what I want you to know is a few people probably thought we were being derogatory towards Missouri Star Quilt. We were not. We were not. We were just saying, we were looking at it from a business point of view because, okay, let's face it, Jenny Doan is probably a lovely person. I've never met her in person. I know there's been a few people on here that said they have, and they've been to Hamilton, Missouri, and I would love to go to Hamilton, Missouri someday and check it all out, and, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching with it. But I think what we need to understand is it is good business practice to have your head of your company give out warm and fuzzy feelings. Because when a company looks like they really give a damn about you as an individual, and I'm not saying they don't, I'm just saying reality is they have something like over 300 employees there. They're a huge business, and no business that size is warm and fuzzy except on purpose, because they want you to get to buy more. Okay, so that's just business. That's all that I meant. It was not to throw shade on Jenny or her family. I think they've done a remarkable job. They came from nothing. They have built up this. They are the American dream. Okay, right there. But a few of you really took it personally, thinking that I was cutting up your bosom buddy Jenny. I was not. I was not. In fact, I had a few people, so I put a little statement about that in this past week's Idiot Quilter to explain myself. And I did have a few people wrote back to me after I made that statement, and this is what they said, and I think it's worth talking about this. Robin Drake 9998 said, I don't believe you said anything out of context about MQS. I absolutely love watching your videos because you have many discussions about different subjects. and topics and information about many things. Yes, I enjoy hearing your input on many topics. And Lisa Marie wrote, I must agree with you regarding the Santa bag versus the Missouri Star quilt box. So we'll come back to that one. But we'll go drop down. She says, also, I feel when you were discussing MSQ and all of the new goings on, I felt that you were trying to be informational, not derogatory. Like you mentioned, it's all a matter of running a business. And Judy wrote, I saw no bashing. I enjoy hearing your opinion. It's just that, your opinion. Good response. Thank you. And Sharon wrote, I watched your video with Walter, and both of you were very clear that there was no bashing of anyone. This was just your opinion of the running of the company now that Jenny is not there. At least that is what I had taken of it. So, yeah. So, might have been only just a couple of people who got their knickers in a knot because they thought I was being derogatory and bashing their good bosom buddy, friend, mother, Jenny Doan. Suck it up. Okay, about that, Buttercup. Oh, Angel's here. Hi, Angel. And Cozy Hermitage Craft Cottage is here. So, anyways, that's why I gave the little blurb that I did on Tuesday on Idiot Quilter, because it was not my intention to upset people. We were looking at it from a business point of view, especially given that we just found out that they have now bought a major fabric company as well. So they're just really good business people. Like, they do well. Speaking of quirky people to interview, you probably saw my interview with Cornelius. Great guy. Great interview. Loved interviewing him. And boy, that boy knows how to sew. And he is self-taught. And if you've never seen any of his videos, you need to go and check them out. The interview, I've linked it in the show notes for this today as well. Do check it out. But yeah, he's got some really great tips. Plus, he entertains you while he's doing it. His trademark, his branding is the cowboy hat he wears. Now, the funny thing is, he doesn't come from he's a Canadian. He doesn't come from Western Canada, where, you know, cowboy hats are aplenty out there. He actually lives in a place just west of Toronto. But I asked him about that in the interview, and basically he said, yeah, it's branding. It's a gimmick, kind of a deal with it. Plus, he does have a little story about it. And he talks about that in the interview. So if you're interested in finding out the backstory to why he wears a cowboy hat beyond branding, you'll need to check out the interview because it's kind of an interesting story. Let's see. Lydia says, people need to calm down. It's just an opinion, nothing worth getting all fussed about. Exactly. It wasn't like I said she was the devil incarnate. We should all go with pitchforks and flamethrowers and tie him to a stake and burn her and her family to the ground. I wouldn't suggest that. Linda says, enjoyed the interview with Cornelius. Lydia says, recently discovered Cornelius. He's great. Enjoyed that interview. And Charlotte says, your interview with Cornelius was great fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed interviewing him. Okay. So what are our plans for videos over the holiday period? Well, of course, we'll be down in Georgia. We are going to do at least one live. Now, it will not, I don't know when it will be. Today, Stephen and Walter Live after today is not on a regular schedule until we get back from Georgia in a couple of weeks' time. But in the meantime, we are going to try to broadcast with Stephanie and with Russ.
Well, we're only missing one Sunday.
Well, I guess we're only missing one Sunday, yeah. So, yeah, it just seems like an eternity. Whatever. But we will be broadcasting a live with Stephanie and Russ from the lovely, how do you say the name of the lodge?
Coosa Mountain Lodge.
Coosa Mountain Lodge, which is where the retreat.
K-O-O-S-A, Coosa Mountain.
Yeah. I believe if you look that up on YouTube, you'll find a video that shows you the facility we're going to. It's a gorgeous facility. Nice setting, nice building, nice It's just nice. It really is great for a retreat. Anyways, we will try to do that, at least one, if not a couple. We'll see how it goes. And I can't say much about this, but we may have a special guest joining the live that is just found out is going to be at the retreat. I can say no more. My lips are sealed. You know, I can keep a secret. I can't. But I promise Stephanie, I'm not saying anything. No, 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 not saying a word. Not wild horses will not get it out of me. So that's when we'll be doing that, and I'm hoping that maybe I'll do some video too to let you see what it's like in there as well. That may not be on the live. That may be one that I'll show when we get back, kind of a thing. So yeah, so my last vlog until we get back is tomorrow, and the last Idiot Quilter will be Tuesday. There will not be a So Chatty for a couple of weeks. And when we get back, we're going to start looking at projects and what we can do. We need some suggestions, people, for things that we can develop into a short series, like, 3 or 4 sections across 4 weeks or something like that. We're open to all suggestions, not meaning that we'll necessarily do them, but your suggestions give us ideas that we can, run with. Is there a squirrel over there? Okay, fine. You like his nuts? Yeah, whatever. So, what else do we know? Oh, okay. Now, I saw Jeannie on here, not Jean E, but Jeannie. And Jeannie is the winner of my quilt from Hope Air. I am so glad that's over with, and I am ecstatic that it is somebody I knew who won it. That made it all worthwhile just for that alone, because the hell that those people put me through. I mean, I only heard about who won it at the first of the week. I think it was Tuesday. After 2 weeks after it was drawn. And it earned so much money. I can't believe it. Oh my God, you'd think my quilt was made of gold. It earned $200, count them, $200. Yeah. There is $200 worth of fabric in that quilt. Not to mention time, effort, all that kind of stuff. Now, why was that? Because, as you know, we've already discussed it. It wasn't advertised. I guess I was supposed to go door to door and let people know they could buy tickets on this quilt. I don't know. I was very disappointed in the fact that they did. I said to them, I wrote them. I told them up front. And if they don't even have to read between the lines. I'm never doing this for them again. I told them, I said, look, you set it up on a web page that was not connected to your main web page site. Why was that? How would anybody know that this was up for grabs unless they came to my channel? And I said, so second of all, the people on my channel, most of them are quilters. They don't want to buy a raffle ticket on a quilt. They make their own. I said, and then you put it up on Facebook. No mention of it. It suddenly appeared and then it disappeared because it went way down to the bottom of the list because everything else, which was mostly advertising for their charity, that was way ahead of it. So it pushed it down, as things on Facebook do. So I said, how could you expect anybody to know about the raffle that might be interested because it was advertised? And I didn't say this to them, and I should have. Glenn and Friends Cooking, who was the person I reached out to originally because he is involved with Hope Air as like a volunteer himself. He has his own plane, flies, people to whatever treatment they need and this kind of stuff. He got all excited about it and put me in contact with these other ladies who look after the whole thing and said he was going to advertise it on his channel, and he was going to maybe even come and do a video with me about it. None of those things happened. He never said one word about the raffle on his channel at all. Now, maybe he didn't know where it was being advertised. But no, that's not true. I saved all the emails, and he was copied on the email that had the link for the raffle in it. So yeah, that was a letdown as well. He's got over 50,000 subscribers, and they're not all quilters. In fact, the majority of them probably aren't quilters. So that would seem to me there would be an untapped resource for selling tickets, right? And then they said, well, the reason it wasn't up on their main webpage is because that's for education only. No, it's not. I checked out their main webpage. It's to solicit people to raise money for them. They even have a whole section on how you can run a community barbecue, a corporate golf tournament, night out at the Blue Jays game with everybody in your corporation. They are corporate geared. And I said that in my email to them. I says, it seems to me that you are more interested in raising funds from corporations than from an individual. And I said, really, I don't think, this was the part where they have to read between the lines, I really don't think that my quilts, or this isn't the venue for making money selling a donate or raffle tickets on a donated quilt. Which what I'm really saying is, I'm never doing it again. Yeah. So then we had to get it shipped. So I said to them, so how's this work? Because I asked them point blank. I said at in our very preliminary discussion of the whole thing, I said, you realize if you're going to ship a quilt out to somebody who's won it, quilts are heavy. And that was before the Canada Post strike too. And I says, and if you're going by Canada Post, it can be quite pricey if you're sending it to someplace outside of Canada, but even inside Canada, it's pricey. And they went, oh no, we have a deal with Canada Post because we're not for-profit charity. They give us a really good deal, and we'll look after it. I said, good, because I'm not paying for it. So anyways, I asked them again. Yeah, okay, well, if you could box it up, and then send us the weight and send us dimensions, and we'll ship it from FedEx. Okay. You told me Canada Post before the strike is over, but that's okay. I don't care as long as you're paying for it. And I double checked with them, and I said, you are paying for it. Well, they never said directly they were paying for it, but they did. They said, well, we'll send you the shipping labels when we have that information. So I'm scrambling around here looking for a box. Also, on the internet, trying to figure out where the local FedEx place is in our area for this. In fact, we went to one in our area and they weren't open. And but we did get it out anyways. And they sent me the labels. They were pretty quick about that. I was pleased with that. I had those within an hour of when I had written the email about how we were shipping it. So I got it all boxed up, took it to the FedEx place, got it shipped out. They shipped it pretty fast because we took it out, shipped it on Thursday.
Yeah.
On Thursday. And then I got a thing from them saying it would arrive on Friday. Then they sent me another thing, said it would not arrive at its destination until Monday. And in the meantime, I'm sending Jeannie emails to let her know where it's coming. And then yesterday, they said it would be, well, I got two emails from them. First email was it would be delivered sometime in the afternoon on Saturday. Then I got another one, said it's been delivered. And this was the morning, and they had a picture of it sitting on Jeannie's doorstep. So I was happy that it got there, because you never know with these things, right? Especially this time of the year when, especially here in our country, FedEx is booked up solidly because of the backlog from Canada Post and everything like that because of the strike. So anyways, I'm done with Hope or Hopeless Air, whatever. Obviously, they're like many of these big charities. They only want big bucks. They aren't really interested in little people donating to them. They want big corporate checks coming their way because, you know, they have to pay for all of their administration and their employees and all that kind of stuff. And whatever's left over after all of that might go to the charity. And so I am done with this group. Looking for a new one. Someone gave me an idea on YouTube. I found Children's Aid Society, foster kids. Apparently there's a program for quilts for them. So I'll look into that in the new year. But anyways, I'm very happy Jeannie won it. That made my day when I saw that it was her, not somebody that was a complete stranger. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if it was a complete stranger, but it just made it, after all the hell I went through, so much nicer that someone I knew that is quilt worthy is getting it. Yeah. Okay. Just catching up here. Fun interview. Ignore Sandy. Oh wait, no. Sandy says, I thought Shannon was one of your social members, and well, she was, but she's really busy. She's got a brand new job, and so she's kind of taking a little hiatus from YouTube for a while. She's doing a few things here and there, but she's really busy from what we know with that. So, you know. Gloria says, Merry Christmas, safe travels, have a great retreat, Stephen and Walter. Thank you. Charlotte says, hey, that's awesome. Awesome that Jean won it. Yes, it is. Sue Ellen is here. Hi, Sue Ellen. Gail says she's here too, checking in from Maryland. Okay, welcome everybody. All right, enough about that. So someone asked us about our anniversary. Well, if you were on Stephanie's live last night, we were on there too. We weren't sewing. I don't think Stephanie was either. Russ was the only one sewing on there. We were drinking champagne and having expensive cheese. And Walter was sous-videing the steak and other things.
Making a pie.
And making me pie. Chocolate banana cream. Yum, 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 yum. And there's still some left, and I will be having some more of it tonight. Yum, 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 yum. So, you know pie is one of my favorite food groups. And chocolate banana cream, oh yes. Just put it all over my body and start, well, enough about our anniversary. But like that never happened. Yeah, we had a good anniversary. We drank 2 bottles of champagne, munched on things,
Had
steak. Steak came out good. It was delicious. Usually we have lobster tails, but our favorite lobster tails from Costco were not available this year. So that was a bit of a disappointment. But
yeah, I think the company that produced or that packaged them from Atlantic Canada was sold to another company, and I don't know what happened there. So
I mean, Costco did have previously frozen lobster tails sitting in a big ice bucket, the kind of a thing the other day, but
I'm always iffy about getting those because they look like they might be the Caribbean lobster tails, and I don't like them that much.
Yeah, and
they sometimes are fishy.
They're fishy.
We don't like anything fishy. So
we don't like
the lobster tails that we were getting before were from Field. You know, I don't know. It's an island off Prince Edward Island, Ile de Marie or whatever. Or,
yeah, it could be
something like that.
Yeah,
and they were Canadian product, and they were never fishy.
No,
they were really good.
They were really good. But unfortunately, we could not get them this year, which was a definite shame. Now, I remember several years ago, we did buy a live lobster from one of those tanks in the grocery store.
Yeah, it was we bought 2 from Sobeys.
Yeah, that's right. And did we have 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had them do the dirty work, steam them. Because I can't look into those little bug eyes and go, I'm killing you. No, that doesn't work for me on that. I like my food dead before I see it. So, yeah, never did that. But, you know, I mean, yeah, sure, we eat beef, so is cows and veal, baby cows and chickies.
Yeah.
But I don't kill it. So, you know, out of sight, out of mind kind of a thing. I can understand why there are like people go to vegan, you know, because you're killing something to eat. But we are predators, you know. We're not that long out of the trees. And in fact, some of us are less out of the trees than others. All you have to do is watch the news on that one. Most politicians still sharpen their little claws on tree trunks out there, probably crapping in the woods.
I guess they squeal when you throw them in the pot.
Yeah, and actually, I read about that. That's what it is. It's the built-up pressure in their shell, and it's the hot water makes it, and it sounds like they're screaming because they don't have vocal cords. So with it, but yeah, either way, not doing it. Look into those little eyes and go, oh. Now there is a guy with a YouTube channel. What's the called? He rescued a lobster from a grocery store tank that looked like he was kind of sickly, and he nursed him back to good health, and he does videos all the time about him. Not Larry the lobster.
It's Leon the lobster.
Leon the lobster.
But I forget the guy's. Yeah.
Yeah, Brady Brady Wood, somebody
Yeah.
Brady, something like that. It's really interesting, and so he has basically a pet lobster.
And recently, I think the lobster shed one of its claws.
He lost a claw, but apparently it grows back, and he's been showing that too. Right now it's like just a teeny little thingy there on the side of him, but yeah. So it's really quite interesting. You learn about it. Yeah, that's Russ says Leon the lobster. Yeah, after you see that, you don't want to eat a lobster, kind of a thing, because they're not really cute, but there's something about them. I don't know. Jeannie says, love the quilt I won. It's beautiful. Yes, and that quilt, by the way, I told Jeannie this, and I may have mentioned before. That was a quilt that was one of Stephanie Stitches' patterns as well. So you got a two for Jeannie. You got my quilt that I made, but you got the quilt made from Stephanie's pattern. So you got a twofer. Heather says her husband is extremely allergic to lobster, so I cook it outside.
I'm surprised you actually make it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we don't know what her relationship's like with her husband. Maybe she's
trying to kill him.
I don't know. Russ says, every time I go to Georgia Aquarium, I want sushi afterwards. Oh, no, raw fish. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't even like that.
I don't even like
like fish.
I don't even like the California rolls that don't have fish.
No, well, I had those once before because someone told me, well, get the California rolls because there isn't any fish in them. Well, they didn't mention the fact that there's seaweed and fish powder in them.
Yeah, like one of the ladies I worked with, she says, oh, I make California rolls all the time. I bring some in, right? So she brought some in, and I said, ooh, they still taste fishy. Oh, it must be the fish powder I put in.
And let's just think about seaweed for a minute. Seaweed. Yes, it's a plant. Yes, it's sort of greenish, grayish, brownish, whatever. But it's in the same water that those fish and everything else are crapping in and doing other stuff. So, oh,
Well, I think they wash the seaweed.
Well, I don't eat soup out of the toilet bowl, so why should I eat seaweed out of fish water? Like, really? Ugh. Yuck. Somebody mentioned they had never had a chocolate banana cream pie.
Yeah,
it
well,
was
it's
Landa.
just chocolate custard, and the banana is banana. So
It's not chocolate custard. It's chocolate Jello pudding.
yeah, it is. But yeah,
Instant.
yeah, it is.
No sugar added.
As opposed to vanilla pudding.
Yeah. Custard. Oh, let's elevate your
Yeah,
pie.
make it sound like it's better, right?
Yeah, really. It's so easy. Even I could make it, but I don't need
Yeah,
to.
like I put sliced bananas in the bottom and put like either vanilla pudding on top or chocolate pudding on top. And then on top of that, I put a fresh whipped cream. So, and then I what do you call it? Shave chocolate on top of it.
Little chocolate. Yeah. Walter. Oh, yeah. Well, I got Walter an anniversary gift. You know that seam ripper that we got in the Kawartha quilting box that with the light on it? And I poo-pawed it when I first pulled it out because I thought it was just another seam ripper, but it's so much more. The light makes the difference. And his little eyes just got really wide and excited because, when he's pulling black thread out of black fabric, when he's making shirts or stuff like that, or dark fabric, he said this would be helpful. So we talked about it on the social review as well, but unbeknownst to Walter, I ordered it. I ordered another one from Amazon, and it came, and I put it in a bag along with 10.
6.
There's more than
Oh
six
yeah,
in
that's
that
right. 10.
bag.
Yeah, that's right. 6. Well,
I had to wait. I
Yeah,
had to
10.
order on. Had to do strategic ordering to get those 10 no sugar added Lindt chocolate bars. You so much because Amazon only allows you to buy 6 at a time, and you don't want to. You can't order again really quick, like immediately after, because they know, and they won't. They go, no, you can't. You can't have more than that. And he's buying up. How many bars do you have now?
I have about 26.
Oh, good God. Good God. And he doesn't let me have any.
Okay, you can have one piece. Yeah, you can try it. Try it.
No, he doesn't. He picks off a piece and goes, would you like a piece? Can't have it.
And I don't eat that much of it. I mean, that chocolate will last me a year, if not longer.
Right. He got me my favorite candies. Every year at Christmas time, he always gets me. They're called Fruitfuls. They're like, if you've ever seen those fruit slices, that covered in sugar, jelly, like. Well, they're very much like that, except they're not cut looking like fruit slices. They're more of a, I don't know, kind of a jelly kind of a thing. I absolutely love those. Usually, though, he gets them on sale at Shoppers Drug or Canadian Tire. But this year, you must have missed
I bought
this.
them full price.
You had to
at
pay
Canadian
full
Tire.
price. Oh my God! How much are they now? $7 a box?
They're about $8 a box.
Oh my goodness, that must have killed
Actually,
you. 'Cause they
that
weren't on
isn't
sale.
bad because I used to buy them at Laura's Secret and they charged like $30 a box.
Oh yeah, I know, and they weren't any better than these ones with them. I'm not even sure who the company is that makes these.
Ganon.
Oh, is it Ganache?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
G-A-N-O-N-G.
Yeah. Well, they're a popular company. But anyways, he bought me 4 boxes of those, and I do inhale them. I've had a couple today. I'm just trying to.
They're very sugary.
Oh, they're delicious. They're very fruity, very sugary, very nice, very sweet. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. They're great with spray cheese. Yeah. No. Well, make a face. You ever tried them with spray cheese?
I don't know.
Well, how do you know? Doesn't matter how I know. I'm just telling you.
It just doesn't seem like a combo that would go.
Right. Mary says she thought California rolls had tuna in them, but then I don't. She says she doesn't eat sushi, so she doesn't know.
No, I don't think so.
I
don't
thought
know.
they were just maybe. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. That's what she called them. She
Yeah.
called them California rolls, but I don't know what.
And the ones that I had a
they
long
are.
time ago, they called them California rolls, and they didn't have any fish in them at all. No tuna, nothing.
They have
so-
little cut up vegetables in the
Yeah.
inside
and then,
where the fish normally
and then
goes.
seaweed, which is just a fish's toilet
And
paper.
that packed in rice that's
Yeah, the
like
sticky
solid.
rice or whatever. Yeah, Cheryl, I had a boss that would snack on seaweed chips. She tried to get me to try them. Yuck. Yeah, I think I tried one once, and no, can't say. There's definitely an acquired taste. So, anyways, yeah, that's what we did on our anniversary and everything. And the Canada Post strike is, well, it's sort of over for now, but not really. The government,
they didn't get a contract
No.
out of it, so
the government interceded, said go back to work. Your existing contract, you're still working under, even though it's expired, it'll still be honored. I think they got a little bit of a raise too.
yeah, I
didn't
think they got a 5% or
5% or something.
4% or 5%.
But apparently in May they'll be back at it negotiating. They're giving them a little break from that. So who knows what will happen between them, because Canada Post wants to restructure and it's not in the favor of the workers. So, it's just buying them more time. Of course, we may have an election before then. We had an exciting few days in the middle of the week last week. The Deputy Prime Minister, who's also the Minister of Finance, resigned from cabinet because she's pissed off with the Prime Minister and his economic policies or lack thereof.
He told her, she was the economic minister. He told her that he didn't want her to be the economic minister anymore, and he was going to give her another job. and she looked at that as being a demotion.
So she took her dolls and went home and cried.
Yeah,
And now we had
and the guy that he wanted refused the job.
Oh yeah, that's right. And somebody else resigned from his cabinet
Yeah.
too. The same. But then, just before the big announcement of Krista Freeland, who's what we were talking about, had resigned. Singh, who's the head of the NDP party, who was in a coalition with the Liberals to prop the government up because our government was minority and the Conservatives are hovering over them like vultures over a dead carcass, and have been for quite some time now, said that they would put forth a no confidence vote, which means basically the government falls and we have to have an election. And he's going to put that on the table, or table that in Parliament when they return in February or something from their little
but
holiday.
isn't 2025 actually the year that there was going to be an election anyway?
Yeah, but not that quick.
Yeah.
Like that would mean, like, I guess the minimum is, like, our elections in Canada don't go as long as the ones in the States. You know, you have a president for 2 years, and then the other 2 years of his term is they're out there campaigning and all that kind of stuff. Well, here in Canada, I think the minimum is, or is it the maximum? The campaign can only go for 36 days or something like that, or there's something with 36, but it doesn't usually go for much more than a month to 6 weeks for all of that. So now they're all predicting or talking about, will our prime minister resign his position? And that would mean then the Liberal Party would have to have a new leader, and I really don't know that. Well, there are some wild ones in the wings biting at the chomp for the job, but most of us in Canada don't know who they are or anything, so I don't know. All I can say is I think our prime minister let us down. He started off with a roar, but he's not going out with a bang. He's going out with a whimper. And he is so bloody stubborn and a little bit arrogant that he may not resign. His caucus may have to. Well, I don't know if they can. I don't know if anybody can push him out. If he doesn't.
Yeah, a lot of them are asking him to step down.
Yeah. But he's arrogant enough to think that in the next election he might win. I mean, the choices that'll come up for the next election are horrible. I mean, well, they're never good in this country. See, we vote differently than Americans do. It's not a question of who's best suited for the job or anything like that. In this country, we work for, well, which one do you think will do the least amount of damage? You know, it's the devil you know or the devil you don't know, whatever. They're all a-holes. So, yeah. But then all politicians are a-holes in all forms of government. Don't matter what it is, you know. So, and it's no different in other countries either. It's the same thing. So, yeah, we have that to look forward to soon. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's what they're all saying, Dana, about his pension, but that's just...
that's advertisement by the PP. And by
the
the way, PP gets a pension, Trudeau gets a pension. If you've been on 2 terms in Parliament, if as an MP, member of Parliament, you get a pension of, I think it used to be, it's probably more now, it used to be like something like a minimum of $60,000 a year. I think that's a long time ago. It's probably well over $100,000 a year. And I think it's for life. So, yeah, great work if you can get it with that. But, yeah, the politician, the Conservative Party has been just...
Yeah, the Conservative Party has been running these advertisements saying that... putting down the other party, Singh, the Singh-led party, and saying that the only reason he's hanging on is because he wants his pension.
Yeah.
Well, as if Conservative Party leader doesn't want his pension.
Well, it's debatable whether if there was an election today, he'd still get his pension.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's just PP being. We call him PP, the leader of the Conservative Party. His name is Pierre
Poilievre.
But
yeah, he gets ticked off because people on Twitter call him PP.
Yeah.
For short.
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, yeah, well, at least in Canada, what we usually go afterwards, well, when the election happens, we go,
Yeah, it's either
Sorry.
Pee-pee in bed or poo-poo in bed?
Oh, yeah. It's fun in Canada. Yeah. And then in Canada. All right. So, speaking of fun, well, there were some other comments that I wanted to mention. Where is it? That's not it. There was there is a comment about Canada Post someone wrote. 1975 Murph. If Canada Post can't make ends meet with the rates they are charging, they have some huge issues. We switched away from them about 6 months ago and started using couriers. This person must own a business. I don't know what the business is. We have a commercial account with Canada Post and we're charging $12 to $18 for shipping fees. And most of the time our costs weren't even covered. Sometimes not even close. Shipping costs with Canada Post were literally killing us. We had a really hard time increasing those rates because on the customer side of things, yes, the customer's bottom line is important too. It just wasn't realistic. We are saving approximately 30% with the switch to couriers, which is crazy because we were supposed to be saving that much or more off the counter rates with Canada Post by having the commercial account. What are regular people having to pay to mail stuff? Well, an arm and a leg with it. So this is coming from a business owner about the whole thing with Canada Post. Yeah, Canada Post has to do a lot of restructuring, but I think they've lost the business side of things because businesses are saying, screw you. You're trying to screw us over. We're going with the couriers and they're more competitive. Yeah, that's to be predicted. Okay, bye, Landa. And then someone else wrote, Maureen wrote about the raffle for the whole pair. She says, I just cannot believe the stuff up over that raffle. Every quilt group in Australia, and yes, I mean every, there's a word missing, every group, I guess, raised thousands of dollars for various charities raffling quilts made by members. We sell the tickets at $2 each and raised $5,000 this year. I can absolutely understand your feelings and reactions. It must feel like a slap in the face to you. I like the quilt and you should feel proud of the excellent job you did. Don't let the buggers get you down. Yeah, so it was just not the right environment for a raffle for the quilt. So it'll be interesting to see what the senior citizens, I've donated a quilt again this year and they run a raffle and I think their tickets are only about $2 a piece. It'll be interesting to see in comparison to this, how much money they raise for that quilt. I think last year they a little over 400 for the quilt I donated then, which in my mind still isn't a lot, but it is senior citizens, kind of a thing, pensioners and whatnot, which is what we are as well. But anyways, okay, so here is the biggie. Now, I'm an opinionated person, okay? And I have an opinion about you right now, and it's not nice. But I try to be fair in what I say, okay? And I don't just spew forth on a minimal amount of knowledge, okay? If I have a strong opinion about something, it means I've done some research, I've looked at things, I don't want to be accused of delineating misinformation on my channel. All right. Also, as you know, I pick on people for fun, but on the serious issues or things like that, I do not, rip anybody apart. I also respect the fact that other people are entitled to have an opinion. It's just that mine's better. No, that's not it. Everybody has a right to state their point of view, but you state your point of view in a constructive and fair manner. It's called civilized conversation. What was it that John F. Kennedy always gets called? I may not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend your right to say it, kind of a thing. Well, yeah. So I talked about Canada Post last week, as we did, and I got an email, not a comment. I got an email from a person Let's just call her Betty, because that's her name. So I read this to you verbatim and then pull it apart a little bit and tell you what my reply to her was. So she says, I just wanted you to know, bracket, and I'm sure you couldn't care less, bracket, substitute word, sarcasm there. I am unsubscribing. This entails a dramatic reading, okay? I am unsubscribing from your channel, and I'm encouraging my friends, who I enthusiastically encourage to join it, to unsubscribe as well. I am a Canadian and experiencing the same hardship you are because of the postal strike. I didn't mention I was having any hardships with it. Didn't come up. Didn't affect me at all, really. Yup, my OAP and CPP checks might be late. I never mentioned anything about OAP or CPP. What's OAP?
Old age pension.
OAS.
Yeah.
Not OAP. So she's getting a check that we've never heard of. Wonder how that works. Okay. I never talked about those. In fact, until she brought that up, I never even thought about those being late. But they shouldn't be late because ours are automatically deposited in our bank account.
Actually, you should. Some people are still getting checks, actual checks, because they don't subscribe to auto deposit, but they are trying to encourage people to do auto deposit.
So if her checks are late, maybe she should have looked into direct deposit.
Direct deposit, yeah.
All right. Your vlog today was really insulting to Canadians. Oh, I stood up there and I said, Canadians are shit. I'm a Canadian. The last thing I would say is that my country people are full, well, some are, but you know, like that. But I never said that. Never said it. Don't put words in my mouth. I never said anything like that. Perhaps as a gay man, you would feel more comfortable moving to the U.S., where they never, in capital letters, have postal strikes or any prejudice against anyone. Okay, who's being nasty now to Americans? She is, because this obviously is being sarcastic, right? What the final straw with me was when you said they wanted to stay with the federal government so they could be lazy. Would you please show me, tell me exactly when I said that? Because I never said that at all. I have no idea what your career was, but I can assure you that most government employees, federal, provincial, and municipal, work hard for every penny they take home.
I was a civil servant.
I was a civil servant as a teacher. Teachers in our country fall under the jurisdiction of the provincial government. I was a provincial government employee as a teacher. I know that, but I said that basically what I was referring to was the administrators of the post office, that they've had it too easy because they could always rely on the federal government to bail them out. Even though they're a crown corporation, and I explained that last week, which means they are supposed to run like a company, they're not supposed to have a loss, and that the federal government only comes to their aid when it's absolutely necessary, which they did not do this time with it all. I did not say that employees are lazy. What I did say was, and this was, and I mean, she uses sarcasm. I guess she doesn't understand it, though, really, because I said, you know, who knows what's going to be like at the end of this strike, because there's all this mail that's going to be backed up. And, you know, what'll happen is they're going to look at it. It's going to be a mountain. I wouldn't be surprised. Some of it ends up in a dumpster. So it's a good time to do dumpster diving once they go back to work, because you're going to get some bargains in there. Now, that was sarcasm. But she obviously doesn't have the depth to understand something as, like, obviously sarcastic. You should know that because those who deal with the public do so with anal passages like you. New term, loving it. Anal passages. I think she just called me a shithead. But anal passages. Oh, she is a well-educated young lady, isn't she? Or old bag. Whatever. She's there. So, anal passages. I'm going to start using that. Yeah, I am. Oh, you're just an anal passage. Yeah. How dare you disrespect people of Canada on your vlog stating it's your opinion? What am I supposed to say? This is the god-awful truth. It's written in the law. It's our Constitution. It's there. Of course it's my opinion, and I said it many times over. In my opinion, I said I am on the outside looking in. I'm looking at it from a consumer's point of view. I don't work for the post office, so I just know what I know from what I've read in the news, seen on the news. Okay. So it is my opinion. Really, I thought your opinions were related to crafts. Well, she'd probably have a problem with that too. Oh, I don't like that color. That's just my opinion. How can you say that? All colors are beautiful. Whatever. And to answer your question, didn't know I had one. I am not and have never worked for the Postal Service. You could have knocked me over the feather on that one, honey, because it sounds to me like you took real offense to whatever you thought I said about a government worker, which includes postal workers. So who pissed in your cornflakes?
She always was a government employee.
Yeah. Perhaps she has a suggestion. Perhaps you should volunteer your time to help manage it, though. Well, if I did, probably do it better. You seem to know a lot about public service management. Well, that's just my opinion, dear.
I know a lot about it. I was in the public service.
Yeah. So, do you think I'm going to let this go? If you do, you're on the wrong channel. I wrote back to her. I wrote it very nicely. This is what I wrote. Sorry you feel offended, but I am entitled to my opinion as much as you are to yours. Sorry you feel insulted, but as a gay man, then in brackets, which has nothing to do with my opinion, so you're showing your ignorance and prejudice when you bring it up for no real reason. I have also felt undervalued by elements of our society. But if you wish to unsubscribe, by all means, please do. I do not expect anyone to subscribe to my channel if it does not meet their interests. I hope you have a great Christmas. Now, most of you, I'm sure, can read between the lines. I just told her to go fuck herself sideways 3 times from Wednesday. Okay, in that. But I decided to use my English degree instead and my ability to write coherently and wrote this. But what did being a gay man have to do with it? I never even said anything about being gay. What does being gay with the postal strike have to do with anything? So I guess maybe she wasn't sure how to get at me after my comments, so she was going to attack me with the gay thing. I don't know. So she did write back. Okay, Betty, best to leave it. And this is what Betty wrote back. Just so you know, I am, and all in capital letters, not prejudiced. Well, you're just an ignorant slut, Jane. I have 6 people, count them, 6 people of the LGBTQ community in my family. Whoa, you're living with a lot of fags. Who I love dearly and who are close to me. No, not children. My God, you had children?
She didn't produce any of this.
One of my good friends is trans. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I didn't know. Oh, you're an ally. Bully for you. That's good. Yes, some of my best friends and family are of a different ethnic race than myself. So I understand everything they're going through in their lives. Yeah, no. My comment about the gay man is you seem to show value in your American friends. Wait. How do we go from being gay to showing value with Americans? Does she mean that all of Americans are gay? I didn't know that. Oh my God. We're moving to the States. There's a gay on every corner. So many toaster ovens, so little time. Oh, gracious. No wonder they have great woodwork products. No wonder there's always a woman out there that can put up a bookshelf for you. No wonder there's a lot of 4x4s and a lot of really, I love your window dressings. I'm a decorator. In there. Hairdressers galore. My God, musical theater. Everybody knows in the States that there's no place in the world that has better musical theater than the American. Why? Because they're gay. So sorry you missed the point. Yes, you are entitled to your opinion, but I guess I subscribe to your channel as a quilter, wanting to learn. Share your experiences and patterns. I wish you and Walter all the best. Travel safe to the U.S. and continued good health. Epitome here of passive aggressive. Right in that last line. Okay, well, Betty. Please, don't walk. Run to the unsubscribe button and hit that sucker many times. Tell your friends. If they're like you, I don't want them on my channel either. Do us all a favor, Betty. And why not just stick your thoughts up your anal passage? So, yeah. Don't screw with me, baby. If you put it out there, you're fair game. I know. I put it out there, so I'm fair game. But the emphasis is on the word fair. Not belligerent, not derogatory, not slanderous. Fair. If you have an opinion, if you don't agree with my opinion, that's perfectly all right.
That you just write and say, I disagree with your opinion that you said on the postal stuff. Not the way you write.
Oh, I'm not writing back to her again, because you know what's really going to get Betty uptight? And this works every time. Especially, I'm sorry, I'm now going to say something sexist. Especially with women like Betty. Okay? You don't answer them. It's the end. I made one answer. That's it. She could have left it alone. She didn't, but I'm not going to well, I just did. I did all of this on here, so I guess I did retaliate. But since Betty is unsubscribed from my channel, I guess she'll never see this. But just a warning to all the other Bettys in the world. We used to call them Karens. I don't call them Karens anymore. I know too many nice Karens. I don't know how many Bettys I know, though. So from now on, when I say Betty, you'll all know. You know, it's like the name Margaret. Those of you that have been on my pop-up so days, some of you will know what I mean by that one. Okay? But this is the new term. Don't be a Betty. With it. Oh, it's funny. It's just too funny. My feelings are so hurt. Just so hurt. So, what's everybody saying here? Yeah, Candace says, oh my God, that lady has issues. I would say so. This lady is a witch. Uh-huh. We just saw Wicket. I don't know. I hope she can't defy gravity. Defying gravity. Okay, enough of that. Bravo on the reply. Love your reply. Have the Christmas she deserves. Yeah, Santa's going to put a lump of coal in her sock. She'll probably complain about Santa too. I don't like that red in your boots. They're getting mud all over my place. And I don't know, that sack looks awfully big. You're probably gay. But I have about 6 other people with the same suit in the bag in my family, and I'm not prejudiced. Whatever. Carrie says, I was over here asking the same question on how the two are connected. Yeah, I don't know. Colleen says sad. Stephanie says, you can move in next door, Stephen. Yeah. Well, it'll always be a riot because we'll be doing show tunes all the time. That's what Walter and I do in the car to kill the time as we're driving to Georgia. We sing show tunes all the time. Oh, you should hear Walter. He has a wonderful mezzo-soprano voice. Yeah, especially if you're squeezing. Never mind. Candace says, you never said anything like America was better than Canada regarding the postal services. Nope, I didn't. You would never get the last word. Oh, yeah, you're exactly right, Mary. Cheryl Hogan says, no response is the best response. Yep, because, you know, if you don't say anything, there's nothing for them to pick a hole in, and it doesn't give them any fuel for fodder, but it makes them explode because they hate that. Charlotte says, yes, put her on ignore. Yeah. Candace, that's what's wrong with a lot of society. No one can have an opinion unless it goes along with their own. Very true. Margaret was so 2024. Ring in the new year with Betty. Yes, Lydia. Karen says, as a Karen, thank you for the change. I came in late. Now cannot wait to replay. Okay, yeah. No, it's going to be Betty from now on. Betty. And it's Betty with an I, by the way. Betti. Betty. I know her last name too, but I'm not going to say it with that. So, but it's Betty. Did I mention it was Betty? Yes, it's Betty. Betty. Oh, Betty, you poor old precious dear you. Maybe, are you a grandmother? Maybe the reindeer will run over you. Bring that song back to life. Yeah. Well, anyways, I had to share that with you all because I think it's funny. I really do. So, anyways, if you too would like me to do a dramatic reading of one of your emails, please send me something belligerent, ignorant, and something that suggests maybe you'd like to stuff it right up my anal passage. And I too can give a dramatic reading of your comments too. Anyways, that's it for us today. So we both hope, you hope too, don't you, Walter? Yes. We all hope you have a really great Christmas and a great New Year. And we have things planned for the new year on our channel as well. I have a couple of ideas milling around in the back of my head that I'm thinking about trying, but I can't tell you anything more because you know I'm really good at keeping a secret. Not. But yeah, so stay tuned. And if you see us, check to see if we've put up a live when we're down. Well, we are going to put one up. Come hell or high water, we will put one up. It's just when we're down in there. So watch your notifications, ring the bell, subscribe, like, all those things. Hey, nothing happened when I did that.
Hey, I don't get any fan mail.
Well, Walter would just call you a big buddy.
Somebody said do the dramatic reading of fan letter to Walter.
Yeah. Okay, that's not working. Okay, we're not getting any reactions out of this.
Maybe your thing's not working.
Maybe not. Oh, wait, we worked on you. It figures. Everything always works for you. God, yeah. Okay, everybody. Have a peace to you too. Peace of what? Oh, there you go. We got confetti. Okay. That was our Happy New Year thing. Okay, everybody. Yeah. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye for now.